What is up, guys? Welcome back to Dan's Reviews, and today we're going to be doing another video for you guys. Yep, of course, tomorrow night is the episode for The Walking Dead Season 7, Episode 12 coming up here, and this one is going to be talking a little bit about a supposed rumor that's going on, recently on The Walking Dead, and everything like that. People were asking me to give my thoughts on it, so, I figured, well, I might as well, at least give my quick thoughts on it in a video. And I'm very sorry about the fact that I didn't have a video up yesterday. I'm just busy editing videos, and then I was also still working on some different things for the channel, and I needed a day off, man. I really did. So we're back at the the situation, and actually most likely, at least later, maybe today or tomorrow, I'm going to have a figure review coming up really soon. You guys will see what it is when you guys see it. It's a really cool figure that I'm really excited to review, and yeah, so if you also didn't see my other video from today, which is some promotional pictures leading up to this episode coming up this weekend. So anyway, the main rumor that we're going to be talking about is a lot of people have been speculating that Rick in episode 12, of course, called Say Yes, is going to, and it's kind of an interesting one, is going to propose to Michonne. And I've heard a lot of people talk about this. So, I mean, what do we got? I mean, at first, I think the first thing we need to consider right away is the title, Say Yes. I mean, that would fit perfectly. I think that would, yeah, that would so fit, man. It definitely. But seeing some other stuff going on here is going to be interesting too. When if Rick does propose, because it's interesting, they only got together about, I would say, about a season. They've only been together for about a good season or so, because they got together in the back half of season 6, and we're in the back half of season 7 right now. So, about a year ago at this time, they got together. So, it hasn't been that long, and I think that is one thing we have to consider. But the other thing is, there are so many characters in the show right now that we don't really have time to focus on some of the some of our characters that we really care about. And this episode, we're going to finally catch up with how the relationship is going with Rick and Michonne. And I think that's really interesting. We need to see that. We need to get some more of that story arc of the Michonne story arc, so to speak. And I think Rick proposing to Michonne in this episode would I think, make everybody happy. I mean, in my opinion, they're one of the greatest couples in the show. I would say Glenn and Maggie were probably the best, but of course Glenn got killed off. So now to replace that, I think the Michonne relationship is probably my favorite relationship in The Walking Dead so far. Of course, we have other ones, like we had Rosita and Abraham before. We had Rosita and Spencer for a little bit, not very long, and there's some other relationships in there, of course, and, I think just the main thing, though, is that I think these two are made for each other. I would say that. She'd be a great, stepmom for Carl. She already kind of is. She's a great motherly figure for Carl, and she's taking that Andrea role from the comic books with Rick, which is in basically after this all-out war storyline, there's a big, huge jump of a 2-year time skip. And when that happens, we see that Andrea and Rick, which would be the TV series Rick and Michonne, actually are married at that point. And we get a time skip, so we don't even see the wedding or anything like that. So I'm thinking maybe we could see the proposal, so then we know it's coming. And then maybe, at some point in time in Season 8, or maybe in the very last episode after the war's done, we see maybe even just a good 5 minutes of, like, a short wedding for them two. Would just be amazing. I think that would be a great way to end Season 8 on a bit of a happier note, that Negan, of course, this is big spoiler for the comic series, is in jail, and everything's going good, the war's over, they basically won at this point, and, Rick and Michonne are getting married. So I think that would be probably one of the biggest things for the show if they had that happen. And I have to say, will he propose in this episode, or is it just something else? Is it just some rumor that won't go anywhere? To be honest with you, I like it, and especially the title, Say Yes. You know, do I even need to explain that? No, I don't. That matches perfectly, and I think Michonne would be in. I do think she would be. It's just, I think we do need to get a good speech out of Rick, though, before they just decide to get married or whatever, and, you know, all that kind of stuff. They need a big speech between Rick and Michonne of them talking about the possibilities of both of them dying and saying, you know, after this war, we'll get married. I promise you that. We won't die. You know, something like that. You know, something like that would really make the fans know for sure that these two are going to survive for a long, long time. And, you know, of course, just making Michonne realize that, you know, this is right. This is right. You know, there's nothing wrong about this. You know, of course, they love each other very much. We can already tell. And I think they are setting it up. I do think they could be setting it up. So, to be honest with you, we might already saw a little bit of it in the promo. I mean, the part where Rick was sitting there all emotional, saying it's not about us anymore, it's about our future. That could be a line from his proposal. So, I mean, it's very possible. I'm not really sure if this is actually going to go this way, but I'm going to say I do think that it is very possible that we could see this happen, and I like the idea. I really do. So, I mean, of course, write your comments below, guys. Do you guys think Rick will propose to Michonne, or do you think it could be the opposite? I think it's going to be Rick, to be honest with you, because there's been scenes in the promos, there's been a lot of stuff going on. It looks like Rick could propose to Michonne. Now, of course, what happens if he doesn't? Well, of course, I think based off the comic book series, they are going to get married eventually. So, even if it doesn't happen, still good, because we know it's coming. So, anyway, make sure to write your comments about this below, and I'll see you guys for the figure review either later on tonight or later on, you know, of course, tomorrow or something like that. So, anyway, and I hope you guys enjoy the episode tomorrow night. I'll see you guys really soon. Peace.